The God of the Gaps argument refers to a perception of the universe in which anything that currently can be explained by our knowledge of natural phenomena is considered outside the realm of divine interaction, and thus the concept of God is invoked to explain what science as yet incapable of explaining. In other words, only the gaps in scientific knowledge are explained by the work of God, hence the name, God of the Gaps. So, regarding the claim that intelligent design is a God of the Gaps argument, I've always found this criticism not only false, but also fallacious and self-refuting. Critics of intelligent design often accuse intelligent design proponents of using a God of the Gaps argument, but they refuse to acknowledge that intelligent design isn't a gap-based argument at all, since it in fact offers a positive argument for design in nature. When we conclude that intelligence created the cell or the human brain, it is not simply because we lack evidence of natural explanation, it is also because we have a positive, empirically detectable evidence for an intelligent cause. A message, specified complexity, is empirically detectable. When we detect a message like, "Remember to water the plants," or 1000 encyclopedias, we know that it must come from an intelligent being, because all of our observational experience tells us that messages come only from intelligent beings. Every time we observe a message, it comes from an intelligent being. We couple this data with the fact that we never observe natural laws creating messages or information, and we know an intelligent being must be the cause. That's a valid scientific conclusion based on observation and repetition. It's not an argument from ignorance, nor is it based on any gap in our knowledge.
The God of the Gaps. Basically, here's what's going on here. There are unexplained features in the universe. I'm saying the best explanation is God. Dan's saying he has no idea what the explanation is, but he's assuming it's not God. And he thinks that's an argument. In other words, here we have a universe. It got here. It must have gotten here somehow. It's fine-tuned for life. Someone or something, it got fine-tuned in some way. Dan has no idea how it happened. Now, if we were going and looking on another planet, looking for life, and let's say we were to find buildings, columns, books, artifacts, what would we conclude? We'd say, well, right away, the evidence points to intelligent life on this planet. Somebody did this. It didn't happen by chance. Molecules didn't just fly together and produce these buildings. Someone did it. We may not know who did it, but someone did it. That's a reasonable explanation. Along comes Dan and goes, well, since we don't know who did it, it's a gap. And we can't really say that someone did it. We just don't know. You can't resort to the good old aliens of the gaps. But we would say, of course we can. We have signs of intelligence, and all we are doing is legitimately inferring that some intelligent being did this. That's all that the argument calls for. It's the best explanation available to us now.
Ironically, when critics make this accusation, they are usually committing a gaps fallacy themselves. How so? These very same materialists, one, admit that gaps in the evidence for Darwinian evolution exist, and two, assume that those gaps can and will be filled by materialists' explanations. Otherwise, they wouldn't be attacking intelligent design. They can't make a God of the Gaps accusation without also making a materialism of the gaps argument, one that assumes the truth of their own materialistic outlook. Most gaps-based criticisms are flawed in these ways, which is why I actually try to avoid them. People are entitled to make whatever arguments they want, provided they use positive evidence to back up their position. Intelligent design does exactly that. Thanks for watching everyone, and may you all have a blessed day.